Welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Wednesday, 21st June 2017. I'm Felicia Liebert. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, in collaboration with the Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Health, held a 6-week training workshop for chronic disease self-management. Today, Wednesday, a closing ceremony was held at the Ministry of Finance's conference room. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Nicole Slack-Liebert, was present at the closing ceremony.
So our efforts are focused heavily on not only primary prevention, preventing persons from coming down with these diseases, but also secondary and tertiary prevention, where we try to prevent persons who have been diagnosed from progressing to other serious illnesses.
The country program specialist for the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Patrice Williams Lawrence, delivered the overview of the program.
The Stanford program contributes to strengthening self-management and community linkages through behavior changes in persons living with chronic diseases. 3 participants from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, including 1 person from Nevis, attended the training in St. Lucia. They returned all excited to commence implementation, thinking that there was finally a solution to mitigating against chronic diseases. And these are currently responsible for the highest mortality and morbidity rates in St. Kitts and Nevis, and not only in St. Kitts and Nevis, but also in the Caribbean. Common complications of uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension, and we were discussing them today, such as kidney failure, heart disease, amputations, and blindness, all contribute to the mortality and morbidity associated with these diseases.
She also said that the participants made a choice to take better care of their health by taking part in the workshop.
By participating in the self-management program, you have taken a decision that as far as you can control, you will not be in that statistic. I will be part of the group who have chronic diseases but have lived a long and fulfilling life with minimal complications.
The participants received certificates of completion, which were presented to them by Permanent Secretary Nicole Slack-Liebert and 2 other facilitators who helped throughout the course. Acting Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Sean Richards, made a public announcement with regards to the shooting incident which took place at the Joseph N. France General Hospital yesterday, Tuesday, 20th June.
Just last week, we used the parliamentary process to introduce harsher penalties for the unlawful possession and use of firearms. The debate was rich and robust, but what emerged was a collective understanding that violent crime, and particular gun crime, had become a cancer in our midst, which has to be eradicated. Today is yet another stark reminder that violent crime committed with guns can occur at any time, at any place, and to any of us. I wish to be clear. This government shall not back down or relent in any way in our fight against crime.
Honorable Richards reassured the staff at the JNF hospital that their safety and security is of utmost importance.
Today is a sad day for us, and we are seeking to provide comfort to our staff at the JNF and to provide additional security there to ensure that acts such as these do not reoccur. I assure them that their safety and security, just as the safety and security of all our residents and citizens, is of paramount importance to this government. We shall therefore move quickly to beef up security at JNF and all other government institutions throughout the Federation. We shall also continue to install our island-wide CCTV coverage to allow our greater reliance on technology in our fight against crime.
Richards ended by expressing deep condolences to the family of 31-year-old Darnell Govia and assured them that everything will be done in the government's power to bring the perpetrators to justice. Delegates from the 42nd Annual Regional Conference of the Caribbean, the Americas, and the Atlantic region of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, had a relaxing day on Nevis yesterday, Tuesday. The delegates were able to visit various points in historic Charlestown, the Artisan Village, the Nevis Hot Springs at Bath, where some took the opportunity to sample the healing waters. The visiting delegates were then hosted to a cocktail at the Four Seasons Resort by Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Vance Amory. Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honourable Michael Perkins, is the host, Parliament delegate, and chair of the conference. He spoke to us about the conference.
So we invited a number of all the delegates who are here so far on an excursion to Nevis. Tomorrow we have the annual general meeting of the conference where all the delegates who actually they come from about 19 Caribbean territories. The Leeward Islands, Windward Islands, Greater Antilles, and some of the still British territories such as the Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, that's independent, but there's also Belize. So 19 of us are part of this Caribbean regional conference branch.
Speaker Perkins said the annual general meeting was slated for Wednesday, and in the afternoon there will be the second hosting of a new feature for the CPA conference.
It's called the Hot Topics Forum, and this is a forum. It really will be like a panel discussion that the women fraction of the association has organized. The last one and the first one, as a matter of fact, was held in London last year as part of a conference. So this Hot Topics Forum is the second of its kind, and we're happy to be host to that on St. Kitts tomorrow and as a part of this conference.
While on Nevis, a number of the delegates gave their impressions of the activities taking place this week, as well as the impressions of the country.
What I really did notice, and I guess you guys are very proud of it, is the peak that you guys have, where you see the clouds actually covering the top of the peak. So you're seeing that the peak is going up and then it's covered by the clouds. And I noticed that it's very, very beautiful.
It was good to be able to experience your island. We visited the hot water springs bath. I want to say I met Jesus there and I got healed. Also, I was able to visit your calf and Artisan cultural area. I think that the artisans that you have there have to put on a very good exhibit of what Nevis has to offer. And thank you for having us.
CPA 42 runs from June 16th to 23rd and observes the theme, Enhancing Democracy Through the Use of the Parliamentary System and the Media. It is being held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. Still to come, contents of draft youth policy provide guidelines to combat crime. The details when we return.
Dancing and whining and fretting till the morning. If you like.
Drinking, masquerading, live music always playing.
If you like. Islands of blue seas where people always smiling. If you like.
Street jams and bandstands where people will be jamming. Don't you miss this time, no. Our festival, our legacy. Don't you miss this time, no. The Caribbean's greatest summer lion. Don't you miss this time, no. Our festival, our legacy. Don't you miss this time, no. The Caribbean's greatest summer lion.
Welcome back. The following is a notice from the Director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, NDMD, in the Nevis Island Administration, Brian Dyer. The 2017 Atlantic hurricane season officially commenced on Thursday, 1st June. This season has been predicted to be a fairly active one, as forecasters at NOAA's Climate Prediction Center have indicated the Atlantic could see another above-normal hurricane season this year. Forecasters predict a 70% likelihood of 11 to 17 named storms, winds of 39 miles per hour or higher, of which 5 to 9 could become hurricanes, winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, including 2 to 4 major hurricanes, category 3, 4 or 5, winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. It is important to note that an average season produces 12 named storms, of which 6 become hurricanes, including 3 major hurricanes. The season commences on June 1st and concludes on November 30th, with the peak season from mid-August to late October. The Nevis Disaster Management Department, NDMD, has embraced a comprehensive approach to disaster management, and the need for public safety and preparedness cannot be overstated. The people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the region must be vigilant and guard against complacency, as our region is prone to multi-hazards. The public must be prepared to deal with other emergencies such as storm surges, tornadoes, intense rainfall, floods, and/or landslides. Outbreaks of vector-borne diseases could also develop, and the occurrence of other unrelated emergencies such as fires, earthquakes, and tsunamis cannot be ruled out. At a recent sitting of the National Assembly, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Youth, the Honourable Sean Richards, said that the draft federal youth policy presents guidelines that will no doubt combat crime and also aid in national development. The draft policy speaks to economic participation. This, said Minister Richards, is important because the government is encouraging young persons to become entrepreneurs. It also speaks to safety, security, and protection, as the government recognizes that there is an issue with crime. Minister Richards said that education and lifelong learning are part of the reason for the situation. Therefore, said the minister, the government has recognized that there is a problem with the education system. The minister said that the policy also speaks to health and well-being, youth as agents of democracy, development, and nation building, youth and sustainable development, youth development work, and youth mainstreaming, and of course you have a number of cross-cutting themes and concepts. During the final public consultation on the draft federal youth policy on March 28th at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, Minister Richards said that he deemed the policy to be extremely important in guiding youth work here in St. Kitts and Nevis, not just for the current generation of young persons, but for future generations of young persons. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredecia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.